What's up, everybody, and welcome to the fourth episode of All About Life with your host Malik. And it's Saturday. Honestly, nothing really happened this week. Really topic wise, really nothing that I hadn't already covered. I ain't really feel like going back and forth, but I'd like to thank anybody who's reoccurring, and I'd like to welcome all new listeners as well. Welcome to the podcast. It's a pretty chill atmosphere. But I didn't really have too much to talk about today, but I really wanted to talk about movies and like TV shows, what I felt made them good, what I feel make them bad, and like honestly, what genres do I think are dying off? Because like it's a couple genres that I feel like are just like they're just so tried and done. So we're gonna get into all of that, and then we're gonna talk about video games a little bit, not really in the sense of like stories and shit, but like why have we been getting lower quality games, and is this a market trend? So we're gonna start off with movies. We're gonna start off with movies and TV shows. And so what I wanted to really get into is, right now, I think with all these different studios like Disney, you know what I'm saying, you got Marvel, got their own shit, you got Netflix that has their own movies. You have the actual movie, the high end corporation chains, and you have all these companies now making really good and also really really bad movies, right? And so I wanted to get into what I feel like makes a movie or a TV show really really good. So number one, I feel like a script. I feel like the script has to be number one, right? Like if there's certain things where in the script you can lose yourself, or lose like the actual like the following of the show, I think that's just a bad show. I'm not gonna watch that. But I love shows like, okay, so Dark, right? So this show, it's a German show, and good shows don't have to be in English, they're foreign as well. But so this show basically it's like a time traveling show, but the good thing about it is that the script is believable. They cover every corner. They don't they don't make you have to overthink, right? Like while the story can be complicated, it's not a script where you kind of feel like while you're watching the show and they're acting, you're like, oh shit, like so they just did this to do it. Like there's no part of the show where it's just like, oh well, plot, right? Like where it's just, in the show, it's so annoying. It makes me so angry because I really don't like. I like conceptualizing my shows. Like I like actors and I like to be able to actually understand what's going on. And I don't like when there's just big holes in the plot where people are just saying, "Oh well, we managed to do this just because of this," and it's like, well, that just doesn't seem practical at all. Like this show covers everything, and there's an actual timeline, right? It's not like they're just doing season one and fuck it, we'll just see what happens in season two. It's well thought out, right? And I think good scripts have a great part in that, right? And then, right, another thing that I think makes shows really, really, really good, right, is obviously it's good casting, right? So casting is honestly it's a pretty big thing, right? Like you'll notice a lot of celebrities will apply for a good role. Like a lot of people apply for Django, but Jamie Foxx got the role, and ultimately he was the best at that. He was the best to utilize that role, right? And I feel like when you have good casting and good support, right, where people aren't casted to look good, they're actually casted to be there. They're not typecasted, right? And I'm gonna talk about why that's a bad thing, right? But they're not typecasting. They're not doing it just for representation. They're doing it because everyone here has a role to play in acting, and it's it's very it's very serious. It's like teamwork. It's like any other. It's like any sport. You have to have a supporting cast where if you're conveying an emotion, there's another person who's receiving that on the other end, and they're not just like a dead like Kevin Spacey modern or Advanced Warfare, like the deadness in his eyes in that game. He was so dead. Like it just there was like emotion coming out. I'm just like, okay, well, if you guys can animate his eyes, that'd be great. You don't want that in a movie either, right? Like I hate that. I genuinely hate when people are holding up a movie by themselves. Like they're just the only person in the movie giving a dog shit about anything going on because everybody else is there either A to get a check or they're not ready to fit the role or they don't take it serious. Right? Like when people take their roles serious, when like you get like a Heath Ledger, you get method actors, like really, really, really good method actors who will honestly they'll take it like it's real life, like Joaquin Phoenix. And I know they're like Joker actors, but I can only compare those two in that because I know those are two good method actors and they take their roles serious, right? There's people who don't take their craft serious, and there's people who, and this is like a debate in itself, which I might kind of go off into a little bit, because I think it also makes like good actors. It's kind of dumb to say, but good actors make good acting, right? But method actors do really well, and I think theater actors do even a better job, and they make movies and TV shows a lot better. I think scene actors are okay. Like, and what I mean by theater and scene actors is this is what I mean by good actors. So good actors can act in a scene, and a scene might be 2 minutes of dialogue, right? Or 30 seconds, right? Because there's a lot of jump cuts. And when you're seeing another thing that makes good movies good is editing, or shows good is editing, right? When there's almost like a fluidity to the conversation. Like you don't notice that they're just doing 30-second trailers. You don't know that. Some people can only act for 30 seconds, right? But theater and people of the arts, they act for they do that fucking long ass dialogue shit. They talk for hours and shit. Like they talk forever. And they're able to convey these emotions. And these are the top tier actors. These are what make your movies good, because I don't know. I don't mind the actors who are good for scenes, but I think that's why a lot of times the British actors kind of get the roles now that a lot of Americans, for Americans, is because they don't have to, I almost feel like they don't have to keep, Christian Bale, Idris Elba, they don't have to, they obviously have to take cuts and shit like that, but I think that the continuity, the fact that they can continue to have the dialogue, they've read the script, and they're able to convey it where it's every 30 seconds, you're not stopping and going cut, and then the guy's reading it, and then you have to do it 4 different ways. You know what I'm saying? Obviously they do it different ways as well, but I think their continuity is really helpful for editing as well, right? And so truth be told, another thing that I like about TV shows, and I don't know how to I'll try to explain it the best way I can, but I like the uniqueness of a show, right? I don't like when shows are the same. There's a lot of shows where you turn on the TV and you're like, all right, here goes CSI Miami. It's they're just in 2 different places. And then you're like, all right, I'll go watch this. And then you're like, oh, it's Bones now. You're like, it's the same shit. It's the same genre, and it's dominating the TV. And I don't like it. And it almost feels even when okay, I don't mean, I love Queen Latifah, UNITY, okay, whatever. I'm not disrespecting Queen Latifah. But I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. When I saw that Queen Latifah was getting her own CSI secret agent fucking TV show, I was like, get out of here. No way is Queen Latifah about to do a front flip. She didn't do one damn front flip in that show. Why would we watch that? Why? It's not unique. It's fuck it. They just give it to whoever. They give it to. It's not a unique cast. It's never a unique cast. That's my gripe. I feel like a lot of times I see a lot of the same shit over and over and over. And when it's not unique, when the script is not unique, when the dialogue is not unique, it gets annoying. Like, even I'm going to talk a little bit about it, but even like about what it makes it bad. And I guess we might as well get into it now. But a thing that really, really makes it bad, makes TV shows, movies bad, is when I can predict the plot before it happens. A prime example, and okay, before I say this, don't take me as a misogynistic person. I love Wonder Woman. I like the first one. I liked her in Dan Snyder's cut, or Zack Snyder's cut, not Dan Snyder. Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League or whatever. But her latest movie, her second movie, it was so predictable. It was such a boring plot. It was, oh, this woman discovers this ancient artifact and it gives her powers and she doesn't want to give it back. And now Wonder Woman's got to go get it back, but she won't take it back. And now they got to fight over it forever and ever. And I'm just like, bro, this shit is boring. And I was like, I'm not going to lie to you. Chris Pine popped up out of fucking nowhere. He had no reason to be in this movie, but he was in this movie. And I was already sick of it. And he was in a different dude's body. And I was like, what is this? This is not unique. This is stupid. This makes no sense. There's nothing to this. It's predictable plot. And it's also plot where it's just like, oh, well, Chris Pine's back because fucking plot twist. I'm like, we're not doing this. We're not doing that. That's really bad. And then another thing that I hate, and I think it's so bad in movies, I think it's so bad in TV shows, I think it's just bad for everything. Everything in life is typecast. So when you have a typecast, there's people who are there to fill like a role for social appeasement and representation. And I'm all about representation, right? I'm not saying that there should never be certain people who have leads, right? But I feel like it's not roles, but there are certain ways you can go about filling a cast of unique people and unique situations, right? Like, I think Umbrella Academy does a good job of doing that, right? I've never seen it, but I mean I've only seen like I've never watched like full things, but I think the uniqueness of their cast is they do a good job, right? It's not in your face. It's not, oh yeah, well this is all here and you can't predict okay, the worst show I've ever seen do this, right? It's called Another Life. This show is a prime example of putting people together just because it looks good and seems like you'll get a great audience, right? So if we're talking on a representation scale, every single community was represented. Like, there was nobody left out. However, the bad part was the script and the plot made it so obvious that really, okay, so the show is, all right, Another Life is based, let me explain this to you, okay? So Another Life is a show where you have to go, these people go into space, unsurprisingly, right? I know, right? I love sci-fi, I love space, but they go into space, right? And they're traveling and they have to find another habitable planet because Earth is dying and we don't know what's going to happen. We can't bake potatoes here anymore. We got to find another place, obviously, right? So it's one of those, it's basically every movie that came out past Interstellar in science fiction, besides The Arrival, which we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about that. That's a good fucking movie and that's a suggestion. But anyway, they have to go and they pick this team of scientists. First of all, they pick, they pick the entire typecast of representation. You have your strong female protagonist leader. You have the black woman behind her, but it's just so bad. You even have a person of the LGBT trans community, right? And it's not that they're there. It's the fact that all it is their personalities. They're like, hey, look at me. I'm a black woman in space. And I'm just like, okay. And this guy's like, hey, look at me. I'm a transsexual in space. I'm like, all right. But like, all of you, okay, to give it even more how bad it was, right? Okay, these motherfuckers, none of them liked each other. None of them liked each other, okay? The leader, okay, she has this fucking stupid coil smile, right? She could, every situation, she just had this smile like she just farted. And she's like, oh my God, I really hope no one fucking heard that. She literally looks so stupid through the whole show, right? I mean, they're just, everybody is bitching and moaning, right? None of these guys would have passed their aptitude test, right? They all failed this. So the aptitude test is what you take to get into. It's like for astronaut compatibility. It's like mental and like emotional, like a test, right? They would have failed this test. They do not work together, right? The simplest little things. The smallest little things. I swear, I shit you not. There was like a combustion, like something happened where a pipe blew up, and like I shit you not, it was just like, he's like, this is so hard for a trans man to do. And I was like, what, fix a pipe? I'm like, fix up, are y'all shameless? It was so shameless. It was so bad. And I was just like, what did y'all plan on doing with this? Why were you all surprised that this show got canceled? This show has a 6% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I don't even use Rotten Tomatoes because they said Dave Chappelle was shit. They said Dave Chappelle was terrible. I am DB or whatever it is. That's the one I like because that's usually a little more fans. But nobody likes this show. And it's like, they just decided, well, we're just gonna typecast them. Well, that'll just make sense. I also hate really, really shitty scripts. I hate shitty scripts and another thing, I hate when the like, okay, let's say like for DC movies, right? Like they're signed to a contract with Warner Brothers, right? So because Warner Brothers funds so much, you know, you obviously have to please your stakeholder. You know, your stakeholder is the person who invests in your company. They like say you say like, hey, I don't have 200 million, but Warner Brothers got 200 million to wipe their ass with. So can we get that money to make the next Superman? Well, yeah, but we got to see what it's like because we have to end up producing it and then putting it through publishing. And so the problem is with business is business tries to get what makes movies terrible is when business has touched it. Right. So Warner Brothers, like, okay, when Zack Snyder, his daughter passed away tragically to, I believe, suicide, he wanted to take time off. But Warner Brothers was like, nah, fuck that. We got a schedule. We're not holding back for nothing. You know, like basically like, man, your daughter's dead, but fuck all that bullshit. We don't care. We genuinely have no feelings about it because we have a deadline to catch. Right. Which is genuinely like, that's fucked. That's fucked. First of all, that's crazy that you would even like, bro. He's a really good. He's not only is he a good fucking director, but he's already done shit for you guys. So like, yo, what are you doing? What are you doing? So they bring in another guy, and the company is looking at Steppenwolf, who's one of the who's like the leader, enemy leader of the not a leader, but he's a pretty big person in a parademons, whatever. He's pretty big in that. And they were like, so he had an original design and they didn't like his design because they said he looked like an alien. He is an alien. He's an alien. And it's just like, you could just imagine sitting in a corporate room with all these execs. They're like, well, you know, I like the name Steppenwolf, you know, but he just looks like an alien, you know, an alien that looks like an alien. How's that going to get over to the audience? And they fucking had to change it. They literally had to change it because the corporation did that. Just like when Sony fucked over Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield had a lot of potential. And I'm not saying that just because I watched that last Spider-Man, which was amazing. I'm a DC dude, so, you know, I'm like, honestly, fuck y'all. But Andrew Garfield had a lot of potential. But guess what? Sony had a bottom line. Sony didn't give a fuck. Sony let Pharrell do the whole soundtrack to a movie. Why? Jamie Foxx and Andrew Garfield are fighting, and these niggas are fighting to like dubstep, nigga. In the background is just whoop, 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 whoop. And I'm like, no way that this shit is happening. There's no way that this nigga Jamie Foxx is powering up and dubstep is actually playing behind this nigga. This is crazy. This is what happens when corporations feel like, oh no, fuck what you guys are talking about. Fuck good stuff. We're talking about putting stuff out. That's cognitive in marketing. It's cognitive misery. Like it's basically what they're doing is I'm sorry, marketing myopia. Excuse me. It's marketing myopia. So what they're doing is just putting out a product because they know you'll buy it. They don't care about the quality, and that's what happens sometimes with businesses. They practice marketing myopia. Disney can do marketing myopia. Sometimes they don't, but they can. If Disney puts out a movie where the girl is just literally twerking and absolutely like getting like just crump dancing to Hurricane Chris, people are gonna go see it because it's a Disney movie. It doesn't matter what they do. It matters not. And that's how Sony felt with Spider-Man. I'm like, man, they gonna go watch the shit. Well, I did too. I watched it. It was horrible. It was horrible because the company got their hands on it. And that's what makes a movie bad too. And also what I think too makes it bad, and I said it a little bit earlier, is like, man, it's when motherfuckers make the same shit over and over. Like they'll see a market trend, right? They'll be like, okay, well, we noticed that the horror genre movies, like, okay, because we're gonna talk about that right now. This is the icebreaker into it, but we see that like in the early 2000s. Oh shit, the horror movies like Shaun of the Dead, which was a funny movie. Dawn of the Dead, Something Day, 28 Days Later, 28 Weeks Later, just like Jeepers Creep, just a bunch of shit. A bunch of Freddy vs. Jason 2, Alien vs. It's just so many horror movies popping out that the market was just like, yo, I'm horrored the fuck out. And that's why I think horror movies and the horror industry is dying. It's dying. Because, and I have a couple points on why. And I like horror movies. I like it. But, all right, so like, I feel like, honestly, it's gotten away from itself. It's gotten to that point where like, it's like, oh shit, well, if we just want to put out like a cheap movie, all we got to do is do a horror film because they're generally lower on the budget production, right? And people really were just like, people were watching Saw 8. Like, bro, give it up after Saw 8. How many people can keep getting, like, how many ways can you torture people? How many? How many ways? Why do we have 8 Saws out? Why do we have 46 Grudges? It's just like, bro, I'm horrored the fuck out. Like, okay, here's the thing, right? Like, when you have 40 terrible horror movies, right? And they comprised of, and this is the reason, jump scares. When they're just jump scares, they're not scary. They're not conceptually scary anymore. They're just cheap jump scares. They're cheap jump scares. There's like, all right, so I'm watching this zombie show. It's called Black Summer, right? And it was the longest jump scare I have ever seen in my life. And it was so fucking stupid. Okay, it was a 2-minute scene of this girl, right? This girl's walking through the whole like hotel, no sound, shotgun. She's just walking, and you're like, oh, it's gonna come. Oh, it's gonna come. 2 whole minutes of just silence and like that little eerie like doo, and she's just like fucking SWAT breaching through the like kitchen. She's SWAT breaching through like random doors. She's like, you guys didn't check. And I'm just like, what the fuck is this? When's the little jump? The jump never came. And then a scream came. And I was like, oh my God, a waste of 2 minutes of my life that I will never get back. By the way, it went downhill from there. From that one jump scare, that show went downhill. But when you try jump scares, it's cheap. It's really cheap material. It's cheap. There's nothing you can do with jump scares. Like, I feel like only scary motherfuckers will be like, ooh, like, it's not scary. You know when it's coming. They give you every audio cue that it's coming. Because this is how it is. Right? And that even gets to the plot of like, bro, they don't even care about writing a good script. They don't care about writing good plots. They don't care, like you look at some of these movies, these horror movies, like motherfuckers would just be doing stupid shit and like It's not like they're trying to get away and something will happen to the car. It's like they'll see the car running and then they'll just run in the house. And then you be like, oh, okay, so this is what we doing, stupid shit. We doing dumb nigga shit. So basically y'all can get jump scares in the whole movie, right? Like, I don't know. Like, it's poor quality. Or even just, like, I would say so like, even this horror movie, okay, this movie is stupid, okay? Like, Unfriended, okay? I don't know what it was. I just wanted to talk about it because I know some people had to watch it. It was literally people killing themselves because they was on Skype and like this ghost girl was just like possessing people and making it like the one dude put his hand in a blender and like it was just honestly it was the stupidest movie I've ever seen and it felt so dated. It felt like a script that was like 5 years late and they were like, fuck it, we just still can put it out, right? And when I feel like there's 40 fucking terrible shows that, you know, outweigh 5 good movies. Like, okay, good movies that I think, but it's so hard to get them. Like Us. Us is a good movie. Conceptually, it's scary. The one by Jordan Peele. It's very conceptually scary, right? Even the faces. There's not really any jump scenes. It's the faces they make. It's the motives that they have. It's the way that they move. It's beyond just boo. It's beyond just blood and gore, right? It's a concept. Like, imagine someone looking like you but morphed a little bit more, and all they do is like it's just the scariest shit in the world. It was scary. Archive 81. So that's a conceptually scary movie, right? Scary show on Netflix, right? They don't. It's not jump scares. It's the concept. It's the idea that this is happening. The idea that this certain thing is happening and it should cause uneasiness in you. Like, oh fuck, what if this happened? What if these people, what if there's a cult out here that actually has these capabilities with X, Y, and Z? I'm not gonna say nothing about the show. I'm not gonna give up no juice sauce. So that's why I gotta talk in code. You should go watch that shit. That shit is fire. That shit is fucking amazing. Go watch that shit. And I don't know, I just feel like it's dying because it's low quality. I just feel like it's dying. It's just it's so bad now. Horror movies are so, it's just like gore, chainsaws, Kane. I saw WWE Kane. This nigga Kane had a scary movie. I was like, Kane is not that scary, okay? He's not that scary. But I would suggest if you've never seen Us, you should watch that. Another good show, another good movie of mine that I think is really, really good that you should watch. You know, and we're gonna get off this topic after that. We're gonna talk about video games, but for a little bit. But I think you should watch The Arrival. Anybody who's watching this, anybody who's listening this far, you should watch The Arrival. Okay, this fucking movie is a sci-fi movie, but it's a sci-fi movie without all the action. And I know it's like, you're like, oh shit, that sounds boring as fuck. No. This shit is like genuine stress. Cause it's like, imagine an alien, whatever, like, I don't even know. It's like, it's just like a one vessel. It lands, it wants absolutely nothing to do. It don't talk. If you get close to it, it'll eviscerate you. But imagine nobody having any knowledge of it, right? But imagine all the worlds are not working together, right? All the countries are not working together. So now you got China over here talking about, I'm going to shoot that motherfucker. And you got Russia over here like, I'm going to nuke it. You got America like, hold on, let's try to reason with it. And so there's so much drama going on. And there's like a countdown. So like they figure it out or whatever, that there's like a countdown that this thing is counting. It's literally going to do something at this certain time. And now it's even more pressure to figure out what the fuck it actually wants to do. And so there's just, and all the countries are now even more erratic because there's a clock. Now there's a clock. So now they're like, oh, are we really armed up? So now it's just the stress. Like, damn, the fuck is going to happen next? So you should watch it. Real good show. Real good movie. Real good movie. But now, you know, honestly, kind of getting off of high quality and low quality stuff. It's low quality, but man, honestly, what's up with? I just want to talk about what's up with video games. Like right now, like for the last like probably like 3 years, probably 3 4 years, all the video game companies have been putting out. I don't know if it's lackluster. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm just a moody person. And I don't know. I feel like these gaming companies have been putting out some of the worst products in the beginning, like unfinished, right? Like Halo, Cyberpunk, Fallout 76, Call of Duty, right? Yeah, that shit is ass. It's ass. I was on that side till I realized like the game style is just so simple. And Battlefield 2042, I was so hyped for it. They dropped this cool ass fucking commercial where I don't know if anybody ever seen it, but the dude jumped out of a fucking jet, shot a fucking RPG, and hit the other dude in the jet. And they put that in the commercial. I thought they was coming back. They was like, we got all these goddamn game modes. You could be a World War II German nigga fighting a Russian nigga from 2014. I'm like, oh my God, this game is crazy. Yo, when the game first came out, bro, I couldn't even I couldn't even play. I couldn't load in. I would click A to deploy and it wouldn't even let me deploy. I couldn't change guns. I couldn't look at nobody. I couldn't talk to nobody. All I could do was chat. All I could do was go, hey, yo, is anybody else stuck? Like, you couldn't, like vehicles was flinging my ass out of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I first put in Cyberpunk, bro, the worst shit, the worst, most unfinished, undone, raw egg fucking game I've played in my life. Like, dude, like, I've never just been like, yo, why did y'all even put this out? Actually, PUBG too, PUBG as well. When they first put that shit out, I was like, why did y'all even put this bullshit out? Like, but Cyberpunk was so unfinished, and I was in a point where I played it, and I was able to kind of like, luckily get through like the first half of the thing before everything just started going to shit for me. Like, everybody was dealing with various, like, issues. It was such a clusterfuck. People were just dealing with shit. I'm like, bro, can you get past this part? Like, yeah, I can. It's like Fallout 76. My friends, I tried to get them on their game 3 different separate occasions. I got them back on there now because it's finished now. But in the beginning, they couldn't even finish their quests. Like, I'd be like, bro, just talk to this person. They're like, I'm talking to them and nothing is happening. You're not understanding. Like, the games now are low quality, and I think it's a trend. And I think what I truly think is that they're gonna start putting out base games. We're like kickstarting games now, bro. Like, and it's fucked up because there's like, it's hard to explain. Like, a lot of gaming companies don't just got it like that. Everybody now is getting bought up by Microsoft, but before that, you know, niggas had to kickstart shit, you know, like you had to like really get money from outside investors. Everybody isn't signed to a big ass fucking gaming thing. And really, if you put out flops, you lose more money. Because production is expensive, right? So I think, especially when people really have anticipation now, like you can't put out a trailer for shit without niggas want that shit tomorrow. Like, if you put out a trailer like, oh, we're going to have this game where you can go in space and shit and go to different planets and different cities, and you don't even got to, like, load in. It's not even going to be like, hey, load into this city. You can just, like, literally fly into the city and do whatever the fuck you want, right? Motherfuckers will want that shit tomorrow. And they be like, it's not done. They be like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. It's that anticipation where, like, you can't do shit because you know you're going to need a little bit more dollars because it's only so many people working on the game in some companies, right? So I'm thinking people are figuring, let's put the base game out. Let's put microtransactions in the game, right? Because I don't think nothing is wrong with microtransactions, not to go on a rant, but I really don't. If you like a skin, buy it. The only problem with a microtransaction is if it's like a phone game, like one of them fucking like Indonesian phone games where you like pick up the game and you shooting niggas and you dumping niggas until you get to level 25 and then you start fighting niggas with bunny outfits and they got like extra defense on and extra bullets in their gun and extra damage. Nah, that shit ain't cool. But if a nigga want to put a flower on his head or some cat ears in Halo, bro, why are y'all pressed? Like, people complain about microtransactions, but that's how the game get better. And I would prefer games mostly be like GTA now, where you see GTA got 6 years, 6 strong ass years at GTA 5. They've been putting money and investing in it this whole time. Different DLCs. They give you shit over time and it gets better. And I'm thinking people took that blueprint from GTA. Like, Battlefield got a lot better over time. Fallout got a lot better over 3 years. Halo is gonna get better, but they dropped a completely unfinished game because pressure. Pressure. Cyberpunk is addressing all of its issues. Okay? Hell, even Call of Duty. Even Call of Duty took a year off. Call of Duty didn't even, and Call of Duty. Call of Duty is a buns ass, like they're gonna just keep putting out shit. They don't give a fuck. They don't care. Call of Duty will put out anything. They don't care. They do not care. Like, they'll put shit in a game and have no mechanics for it. Oh, we put a jetpack in it, but we didn't really put no animations in it because we just put the ones from Black Ops in it. But y'all niggas gonna buy it anyway. I did. I bought it. I tried to jump off a wall. I fucking died. I threw the game out. I was done. I was like, fuck this dumbass shit. They had zombies with fucking exoskeletons. Bro, they needed to take a break. Everybody need to take a break in gaming. So do I feel like it's low quality? Yes, in the beginning. But I think over time, I don't think the market is like, because Call of Duty dominated the market. They set the precedent. They set the precedent for when games should be released. When gaming, like, I would say gaming was cool, like, in the 2000s and shit like that. My nigga, it was cool in the 90s. But when it started getting more competitive because of, like, Halo and stuff, like, I think gaming in general, like, it took off. And Call of Duty made it popular. Halo made it competitive. Call of Duty made it popular. So what Call of Duty did was they made it the market demand when games should drop. Games obviously drop outside of Call of Duty, but Call of Duty was making so much fucking money from dropping every year, and everybody had this just like anticipation. I didn't mean to bang my table. I know that picked up on this bitch. But they had this anticipation where it was like, oh shit, we got to start dropping every year. We got to start dropping every 2 years. We got to start dropping every so often. And I think now that Call of Duty is sputtering out and anticipation from everybody is, now motherfuckers have to be wild. And they're not getting wild no more. They're just getting the quantity that they're asking for. You're not getting the quality. So now if you want quality, you got to wait. So I don't think gaming is going down. I think your Kickstarters. My nigga, we're definitely Kickstarters for EA. Like, we definitely got to use I paid $60 for an unfinished game, and now it's getting better. I guess, whatever, I still play it, from time to time, but unless it's not bought by unless it's not bought by Microsoft or Sony or Nintendo, honestly, bro, expect a bullshit game in the beginning and expect a lot of microtransactions. That's how it is. Because of Fortnite. Fortnite did that. Fortnite made it okay for microtransactions to come in, but really, I think it's also okay for you to build off of microtransactions. It's just skins, bro. Most of the time, you niggas are buying skins. You're not buying, you're just mad. Like, it's $2, bro. Are you that, you're just cheap. You're angry. Like, gamers complain so much about everything. It's $2 for a fucking, whatever you neckbeards want to wear, fedoras, whatever the fuck you guys want to wear. You pay $2. You're paying back and helping them. They're going to put some DLC in the games, just like they do over all the games. Unless you're like a Destiny fan. You're a jackass, okay? You're paying for a literal game. You're paying $45 for DLC. You guys should be mad. You're being screwed. You idiots are being screwed. But Fortnite made it okay for microtransactions and battle passes to come out. But the trend now, I think, is a little bit of Fortnite, but also just drop the base game and it'll get better. People will fuck with it. Look at how Fortnite is. Look at it. Look how you can sprint now. Look how different it is from when it first started. They dropped a base game. This game became one of the biggest games of all time. So much clout. So much bro, when we first started, and honestly, it propelled so many other people's careers, like Ninja and all them motherfuckers. It was so popular amongst like everybody for a while. But the market value of that, the intrinsic market value of what you were seeing, the M's, bro, the millions, the tens of millions and millions. That was a rock reference, but the millions of dollars that you're making, the value is there. So it's a market trend. To me, it's a market trend to put out base games, put microtransactions in them, make it buyable. Halo got cat ears. Halo, the game that was so serious, like super dumb serious, but they make jokes from time to time. But Halo, in the most serious appearance games, things got cat ears now. That's by design. Because they know the value of what's going on now. The market changes so ever often. And we're going to continue to get this for a while. We're going to. Games are going to feel pressure from fans. Gaming companies, people are going to feel pressure to drop base games. And then they'll just fucking fix it. Whoever stays around will like the game. The initial players will play just like Halo. Everybody's like, oh shit, look at Halo. It's got like 20 million people. I'm like, yeah, it's also free. It's fucking free. You do know that, right? Like, it's free. So when it's free, guess what? People are going to download it. And when they get bored, the people who like it are going to stay, and the niggas who are bored are going to leave. It's not like it's dying. It's not like it's dying off. It's the same people. It's the same shit. And it has better numbers than 5. That's way better numbers than 5. So I don't think it's dying. I don't think it's particularly a bad idea. I think it's good because we live in a number society. Look at numbers for streaming services. Hip hop. Hip hop is streaming now. It's what is a stream? What is a download? You get paid off of downloads now. You don't get paid off of just paying no more. I know you can hear me slapping, but you don't get paid like that no more. You don't get paid like that. It's not the only way you can make money in a market. That's capitalism, bro. Welcome to the world. It's not dying, but people always want to talk about what's low quality. Yeah, but it gets better. You're paying for that. You're paying for the upgrades. Be happy. It's gonna suck. It's gonna suck. Like if it's a single player game, it sucks. Like honestly though, I feel like Cyberpunk don't really got that much of an excuse because it's not multiplayer based. I feel like for a story, my nigga, you should have all that fixed before you drop some shit like that. But everybody else, I understand. Now I get it. Honestly, it's a market thing. Fortnite was not what it was today when it came out. But that's what everybody's taking the basis off of. They realize, oh shit, we don't have to put out 100% games anymore. They're not looking for that. They're going to bitch and complain and still buy shit. That's what they do. We bitch and moan, oh my God, Disney got their own shit now, and all of us Disney Plus members. What? ESPN got their own shit, and we all ESPN. We all got Peacock, and we all still got Netflix, nigga. We're gonna keep buying it, bitching, and complaining. So they're gonna keep doing what they want to do. And honestly, that's all I gotta say about video games today. We might talk about like some of my favorite games. I love Halo. I'm a Halo nigga, honestly. I could tell y'all the whole lore about Halo, but I ain't trying to bore motherfuckers today. But that's about it for the topics. I'm really getting good engagement. I'm really happy about that. People still, watching. I'm getting a good audience or whatever. Like, y'all niggas ain't watching for long, but y'all watching. And I appreciate that. I like some likes, comments, subscribes. It's a weekend. About to watch the playoffs. Hot take, absolute nasty hot take here, but the Raptors are going to beat the 76ers in the series in 7 games. I just love our team. I think we're making I think there's a trend now in basketball where it's going to be a bunch of 6'8" niggas and above. Look at our team. Look at the Raptors. We got 12 niggas 6'6" and above. 6'6" and above is 12 niggas on our team. These niggas are 6'8" and they're hard. They're stretch players and they defend like a motherfucker. We got a team. and they're gonna be tough. They're gonna be tough to beat. We are tough to beat. We're beatable, but we're tough to beat. I don't think the league is gonna be looking for niggas that's really short no more. You look at how many people getting picked up, bro. They just picking up dudes that's just like, oh, he's 6'8", he's 6'9", he's 6'10". He could be like KD. He could be like Nikola. He could be like Joel Embiid. Because centers, bro, that it's not the death of centers in basketball to me. It's the death of like the original centers. Like the death of the niggas that like they're on the block and that's all they do. Centers don't do that no more. They're at the top of the key. They taking threes now. They're involved. These niggas have handle packages, bro. Handle packages. They bro, it's not the same no more. And that's why I think the Raptors, man, they in a good place to beat them. I mean, we playing Joel Embiid, and he a different breed. He a special type of nigga. He's a special type of player, man. I love him. I hate him too because he's a troll. It's like if you like him on your team, he's not on my team. But I think the Raptors will do well. Excuse me, English. They'll do well. I think Brooklyn. I think Brooklyn is not gonna beat the Celtics. I just don't. I mean, shit. I don't know if Kyrie playing all 4 games, and I think so. The strategy. I've been watching a lot of podcasts like JJ Redick. Really good. If you guys don't have a chance, check out JJ Redick. Please check out JJ Redick. It's so fucking insightful for people who love basketball, like actual basketball. The plan last year for the Bucks, and it almost fucking worked too. Or no, it worked. Excuse me. It almost didn't work, but it worked to a degree. Was to just let KD go fucking play himself. Like, he's going to go and take all shots, but he's going to be gassed like a motherfucker. And KD said it. He was like, I'm gassed. He was like, I played against those niggas, man. I was tired. They let me shoot any shot I wanted, when I wanted, and he was missing making. He had 50. KD going to get money. Where certain niggas in the league, and people don't really understand it, it's not really a hot take, but there are certain players in the league that are unguardable. There is no stopping them. There is no hoping to contain them. You cannot contain KD. KD is going to get 45 points. How does he get it? That's how you determine. That's what you want to determine. Do you want him to take 40 extra shots? Or do you just want to let him get it? Do you want to let him, get his shots off easy, but stretch him around the floor? Pause. You want to stretch and make the nigga run, get off of screens and shit, tire his ass out. How do you want to get it? There's no way of stopping this, man. There's no way. So I think there's a chance for the Celtics. Not a big one, but there's a chance. I think if they win, I won't be surprised. So I mean, I don't really care about the West. I don't know. Like, I don't think the Jazz gonna do shit. I think the Grizzlies gonna get to the conference finals. I don't think the Jazz gonna do shit because of Donovan Mitchell, man. That nigga, man, it's something about him. It's something about the way he operate. He operate like a petty girl. Like, not to say that women, you know what I'm saying? Like, women are great at basketball, but he just petty. Men can be petty too, but he petty. Like, okay, I read a stat where it's like Rudy Gobert gets maybe he gets like 18, 20 points or some shit, but only 2 of his assists are coming from Donovan Mitchell. This nigga don't pass from the ball. He had like a girl. He's still bad over that COVID shit. Y'all not gonna win, and that's what separates you from a loser, a winner and a loser. That I don't know who gonna win between the Nuggets and the Warriors. To be honest with you, I would like to see the Warriors get out the first round. I like to see Andrew Wiggins, just, I don't know if he's playing still, but if he is, I hope he continues just balling, because he was balling when I was checking in. But I've been just so focused on the Raptors, man. And then the Hawks and the Heat, and the Bulls and the Bucks. DeMar ain't proving shit, man. That nigga, man. DeMar ain't gonna be able to hang with them. It don't matter. They got excuses up. They already fired their excuses off. All their fan base got the excuses ready, cocked up in shotguns and ready to shoot off anyway. So we already know how the Bucks and the Bulls going. And the Pelicans and the Suns, we don't really have to get into that. We know. So there was my hot takes for the playoffs. because it don't matter because the Raptors are going all the way. That's my Raptors take. That's my take for the playoffs, and I'm gonna talk shit throughout the playoffs too, because this is weekly. I hope we not out, but yeah, thanks for listening, y'all. I appreciate it. Keep y'all heads positive, even if y'all going through bullshit. Man, you gotta fake it till you make it. No matter how you feel, no matter how hard shit is, no matter what's on your mind, it's tough. It's tough, but you gotta fake it. You gotta keep going. It's good to see y'all, and I'll see y'all next week. Maybe something cool will fucking happen. I don't know. Maybe an asteroid will smack like the fucking Pacific Ocean or something. We'll talk about it. I don't know. We'll see y'all niggas. Goodbye.